make sure that we take a decisive measures and action, whether it is going to bring the international community or whether they will still write our story like we are writing their own story. It is something that we have to see. And because of what you just said now, there is, if you permit me, I will play just one video that is very, very important of our brother, that also shed more light on what you just said now, making America great again, or making your people great, and you don't allow us to do our own. That is something that we have to talk about often. You cannot come and tell us not to do anything on our own, but in your own country, you want to do everything and make it the way you want. So let us play this video for our viewers to see. Very, very important. Very, very important. One moment. Oyendo, are you hearing this video?
I'm loud and clear. Yes, I can hear you very well. I'm here.
Because they don't want me to put it online. I've tried to pull it, so let me play the audio. So
yes,
at least.
Right. Sama, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes. Are you hearing the audio?
No, I can't hear it. No, I can't.
Oh, you can't hear it? Oh,
no, I cannot hear it. Maybe you can paraphrase it for me. Perhaps you can tell me what the audio is saying, or tell the listening public what the audio is saying.
So the audio, of course, the audio is saying that, for those who are making commentary on Biafra, it is not, they are not in the position to, to tell Biafrans not to talk about Biafra.
Yes.
That especially the issue of the war and the experience and all that they are not in the position to talk or to tell Biafrans not to talk about Biafra. Rather, it is the responsibility of Biafra people, either if they choose to forgive. That it is not, you are not in position as somebody in America, you are not in position, somebody in Europe, you are not in position, somebody elsewhere in Nigeria, you are not in position to come and say, do not talk about Biafra, because you are not at the receiving end. You did not, you did not participate or feel, the pain of Biafra. You are not a victim. So allow the victim of Biafra to talk. If they decide not to talk again, it is them that should decide not to talk about it. Not somebody who did not feel the pain or who did not fall a victim of the killings by the terrorist government of Nigeria to come to say, okay, let us forget about this Biafra, let us try to heal and move forward. That's what the person is trying to say. I think the video I'm going to post it later on. I'm going to post the video later on. And then, so now, let us go to the next question. You know that Nigeria has been killing people, Biafra people, since 1940 something.
Yes.
Since 1940 up till 2021. Yes. And if we begin to count, apart from the over 5 million people that died between 1967 to 1970, after that, every killings that happened in northern Nigeria, the Biafra people has always been target.
Yes.
A lot of people are telling us now that, oh, Biafra, you are endangering the life of the people. You are endangering the life of the people. So, you know, and when they are saying this, endangering the life of the people, we don't understand. What do they mean by endangering the life of the people when actually the life of every person in Nigeria is already in danger? So can you tell us, how do you explain to them how endangered are the life of people in Nigeria? Not even talk about Biafra now.
One Nigeria is what is endangering your life. If you stay in one Nigeria, you will die. It's a very simple fact. Why are people dying today? Is it not because of one Nigeria? Let's say miraculously they had agreed to what our great leader, our eternal leader Juku said in 1967 and opted for a confederacy or a confederation. Do you think Fulani will come and kill you today? Is that not common sense? These people, they know the truth, they keep pretending. Let me tell you one thing, Simon. Those living in Kanu and Kaduna, they're endangering my life in the village. If because of you, the Fulanis have the temerity to come to kill us, that means you in Sokoto, you in Meduguri, with your 2x2 hotel, because of that, you want to endanger my entire village. You are the danger to me, not me to you. Let me tell you one thing. Have you ever wondered why each time the Fulanis, they kill people, they take over your land, and there is this who had this, you know, trouble now bubbling, they always talk about unity of the country. Unity of the country. Why is it after each and every atrocity, the next thing they talk about is the unity of the country? Because they know that within the so-called fake unity of Nigeria, they can perpetrate any evil and get away with it. Don't you know that? If Ojukwu went to Aburi and agreed a confederation with Goa, came back, Britain said no to it. Because that will not allow them to use the Fulani to do Satan's work that they are doing, to the work that is the work of Lucifer. Everyone knows that very well. It's the work of darkness. Getting all these savages from across the Sahel to come in a country where we were before Koro here, before our eyes. The government of Nigeria said those killing people are foreigners. You know, when I go to it makes me very, very upset, to be honest. And I hate Nigeria the more, and anybody who calls him or herself a Nigerian. As I've told you, I don't see you as a human being. Once you say you're a Nigerian, I see you as something lower than you are. Not God in heaven knows. I don't have any regard for you. Before our eyes, they asked them, people are killing us, so come to rescue us. So they said, no, they are foreign, they are from foreign, they are foreigners. Now, the same foreigners, you want us to give them land to do agriculture. You know, honestly, I don't know the God that made black people. I'm being honest with you. I don't know who made it. I don't know where we came from. Because no human being can reason the way we do. That is not possible anywhere in the world. Who are those killing us? You said, oh, they are foreigners. Before our eyes, during COVID, the height of COVID, they closed southern borders, but opened northern borders. Nobody said anything. Even today, I was yesterday, they appointed a new EFCC chairman. That man is a foreign man. Nobody said anything. So that means that Nigeria belongs to them. That means if you support one Nigeria, you support what the Fulanis are doing. It means you want me, my village, to be taken and handed over to Fulani. Anybody canvassing for one Nigeria, you are a threat to me and to the way of life of our people. There is a reason why when you're going to the village, you buy a bottle of hot drink to give to an elder, to pour libation on the ground of your ancestors. That was the same reason why when Joseph died in Egypt, they dug his body up, his bones, and took him back to the land of his fathers to go and bury him in Israel. That is who we are. Nobody can take our land from us. Anybody, we are in the north, you are endangering us. Mind what you say, not to endanger us. But you living in the north, you are endangering me living in the village. I knew that when this problem started, they would say, oh, you have Igbos everywhere doing their business. Nobody's driving them away. Why are you driving? I know they will come to that. And that is their method. Because you're living in Gwagwalada. I should give Obakala to you. Fulani will take over Obaka. Did they come for business? Is it today the threat to kill you? From 1945, they have been killing you. I remember when George Bush went, I think 2005 or whatever, and bombed Al Qaeda bombed what are they called again? Taliban in Afghanistan. In Kanu, they were killing us. In Kanu State, they were killing us. When somebody drew a cartoon of the Muhammad in Denmark, they kill us in the zoo. Have you all forgotten? Are we that foolish that we have all forgotten all of this? During election before your eyes, they destroyed polling stations. They said, oh, Biafrans are going there to go and vote. Let's destroy it. EU was that they observed it. They saw everything. After seeing all of these things you're telling me about, I'm endangering your life. You are the one endangering me. And before you endanger me, I will endanger you first. Thank you very much.
Oyendo, this is a very strong one. And I think every Biafran agitators, including media and those writing in national media, should take this up. This is a very strong one. Those who say we are endangering their life or life of Igbos, the people in northern Nigeria, the people supporting one Nigeria are endangering our own life. I think this should be the message from now on, so that because a lot of people never understood, from this perspective you are coming from now. Because when you continue to push for one Nigeria, you continue to endanger the life of others, especially those who do not want to be part of Nigeria. And those people who do not want to be part of Nigeria are much in number than those who want to stay in Nigeria, which is just 1% of, if not up to 1% of them. So this message should be spread. We have to continue. Now, another thing is that when you listen to the Inspector General of Police, you just mentioned about the EFCC, in Fulani, and nobody is talking about it. When you look at the Inspector General of Police declaring what they call a POF, whatever, they have all these fine names they give to their operation and all that. He came to declare one operation POF, or what he called it, that they are going to, deploy people to northern Nigeria where the trouble zone and all that. And you know that the people going there are our own people from the south. And you know that he have just 3 months left. And in these 3 months, we know that this 3 months is going to be the most deadliest 3 months in Nigeria. Now they are sending our men and women to the northern part of Nigeria where Boko Haram and bandits are on rampage. And the idea is to go and slaughter them there. Because the thing that the military could not do is not somebody that went to police training that will go and quench the fire. Now, what do you have, even though we have been advising our people to quit? I don't know whether you have watched that video. One thing the man mentioned in that video that interests me, I apologize to our viewers because this thing is not allowing me to play even any video. I've tried and tried to play video. It is not working. So, the thing this IG of police mentioned is that he after making a speech, he said something in Arabic or in Hausa language or something like Allah something. So I don't know what he said, but that thing he said interests me. I do not know why he is addressing Nigerians in English language. He ended up concluding it with Hausa and Arabic prayer, mentioning Allah. First of all, a lot of people will not pay attention to that, but it means a lot. As a state person, in a public office, addressing people, agency who are supposed to be serving in a secular state, it is not just a sacrilege or something that should worry everybody, that a police IG addressing the police people, all of a sudden, at the end of the speech, he ended up speaking Arabic and mentioning Allah. Even a president, even though the one parading himself as a president cannot do it, because it is completely against the constitution of Nigeria, if there is anything like that. So what do you have to advise our people? Even though we have
They don't give a damn. It doesn't. Nigeria belongs to them, with the help of the British. Belongs to them. Are you telling me that BBC hasn't seen what has been going on? Can't BBC do a documentary on Fulani killer headsmen to bring out all the facts? They know what is happening. They know Nigeria. If you don't know that Nigeria belongs to the Fulani, to the Janjaweed, then you're mistaken. The only thing that is still worrying me is how the Hausa peasants, even after all these years, have not grown any common sense to understand that they're being used. Nigeria belongs to them. They can do whatever they like. You've not seen them performing military drills in Hausa language, in their own native tongue. You have not seen the motto of the Nigerian army, that it is still the same banner that Ottoman Danfodio went into war with to take Gobert from the Hausa people. You don't know that? You have not seen Arabic on Nigerian army flag. Maybe I'm even surprised that we're not no longer even learning Arabic. I think the deposed emir of Kanu, Sanusi, went and took some money from Saudi Arabian government to introduce Arabic as a second language. So you people don't know the mess people don't know the mess they're in. You remember that time we used to say that the war is coming? They said we are warmongers, we are miscreants, we are touts. You know, we have very beautiful names, and I love it. I'm the #1 miscreant anyway. All these names they keep calling us. The same words I used before is what Wole Soyinka is using today. They brought war to our doorstep. They told BBC. The work of BBC is to make sure that, regardless of how horrible the behavior of Fulani is to moderate it. That is why they can. What would you do if they speak Arabic? If they decide, after all, everybody in every major position is almost Arabic. Is Muslim, is Fulani. You've done nothing. They closed all the 7 ports in our land and only left 1 open. They closed 6, only 1 is open in Lagos. So when a Yoruba person wants to speak, they say, remember, if you talk too much, we'll move our seaport from Lagos to Warri. That one will close his mouth. That's the life. I mean, when you look, don't even go, you're being too, you're intellectualizing this whole discourse. They won't understand it. In a country with 7 seaports, 7. One, One, 2, Calabar, Warri. There is one again. You remember that place? I don't know, maybe you are too young. We had a dumped toxic waste when I was in secondary school. Some people in Italy brought in hazardous waste and dumped it there. That port is still existing. You cannot see 1 cargo ship there. Only in Lagos, and it's congested. You come in there, a ship will be waiting for his turn for her turn, because it's a ship, so it's a her, for her turn for nearly 6-7 months to offload. And you're telling me about one Nigeria. You're flying one night. Why wouldn't they speak? Who is the head of customs? A retired military colonel, or is it major? He doesn't wear customs uniform as required by law. He doesn't wear it. The Fulani have messed everybody up. Everybody is useless in the zoo. I don't know. I think it was Ohagi who was writing it, that whoever is advising the Fulani is doing a very good job, because they know us very well. They know we are black people. They know nobody is going to come to rescue us. You can do whatever you like. The BBC is there. All they care about is to make sure that the Fulani continues their march to the sea. That is the work of the British and of the BBC, and it's never going to stop until we rise up and say, enough is enough, which is what we are doing. So you're worried about people speaking Arabic when the army is Arabic. Go and look at the Biafra, it's not Arabic already. That is the mess we're in. It's unfortunate that people do not see this mess. I heard one idiot, as I mentioned the other day, talking about my wife is from Hausa, my baby mother is from Yoruba. The senior brother is from Juku, and I'm Igbo. Because of that, let's have Nigeria. People look at that. People talk as if they injected them in there, as if there's something wrong with their brain. Haven't you seen that our dear sister Chimamanda? Because if you do good, we pardon you. If you mess up, you know, it's IPOB. We are too strong. We shred it to pieces. Today she has come back to her senses, saying she has. What we are saying is correct. You may not like it because I am saying it. You may not like it because someone is saying it. You may not like it because family writers are writing about it. You may not like it because a person is saying it, but it is the truth. You can hide and run and speak all your grammar and all that. It is the truth. Fulani will kill you. They will take your land. They will take it. And the BBC will cover up for them. So you don't know. I feel sorry for the animals in the zoo. Zoological Republic.
Thank you very much. Are you there?
I'm here. I can hear you very well.
Right. Very good. Very good. So, you know, these people, the attack is still going on, and they are battling with the thing at the same time.
They are removing people. They remove people. That's what they do. We have over 10,000, 9,000 plus. They have removed nearly 2,000 people. That's what they do. Ignore them and continue.
Yes, they are throwing me off balance, but we have to continue. Now, when you look at the some of the international laws on statehood, they are declared, like you mentioned about that UN have all these laws and all that. Of course, they are not paying attention. So I just want to read some of the things that to simplify the actions of the United Nations that must shape the international laws of statehood. Man, those things that shape the international law for statehood, for example, the Biafra state. If at a point, as this thing is going now, Biafra declared state, is this. There are the resolution passed by the General Assembly, the decision of the International Court of Justice, the law recording codification effort of International Law Commission, and the decision by the members of member to enter treaty, recognize or not recognize purported state. Now, there are, in addition to this, there are 3 traditional criteria that could make indigenous people, to be regarded or to have a statehood. Because all these things I'm saying now is something that Biafra overqualified, like Biafra people overqualified. Now, the 3 traditional criteria is population, territory, and government. And then in defining or giving more meaning to all this, the 3 most basic and least controversial criteria of statehood come from Article 1. Article 1 of the Montevideo Convention of 1933. Now, although the treaty itself has never been officially adopted outside of the Americas, of course, we know what when it comes to international politics and international laws, Article 1 remains highly influential and is generally considered a reflection of most fundamental criteria of statehood. We're talking about Biafra now. If what is going on, who knows anytime this year, who knows anytime next year, who knows anytime before 2023, if something happened that every nation in Nigeria begin to declare the statehood, just for clarity. Now, the population, the first fundamental criterion is a permanent population. Simply put, the population of a potential state cannot be entirely composed of nomad or travelers based elsewhere. And now we are talking about the Fulanis. So you cannot, Fulani cannot have a statehood because they fall under the nomad, and or they are regarded as the travelers or they're based elsewhere. They cannot be regarded as population. And that is happening in Nigeria. This is in law. That is happening in Nigeria. Fulani is claiming Nigeria where other people understood what international law says and chased them away. They come to Nigeria where Gari and the Akpu and the Ewedu and the Gusi has beclouded the sense of reasoning of the people who call themselves politicians. And they cannot know their left and right. And now Fulani has come to understand that the people that are in the front line of politics from the southern Nigeria are all mumu, and they are using that mumuness against every other Nigeria, which goes to what you have said, that these people are endangering your life and the life of other people while they continue to remain in Nigeria and nomad are controlled. Now, that is for population. Number two, the territory. The second is defined territory. The borders do not need to be fully defined or undisputed. They just need to be an identifiable location. And this is where I give it to you, and I doff my cap, because a lot of people have come to attack you about bring your map. Bring your map. In international law, you know, like I said, the Montevideo Convention, anybody can go and check it out. You have what is defined as territory. You don't need to have a map, you know, before, as you are agitating for your freedom, you do not need to present your map to anybody. At the point where we are now, the question shouldn't be where is your map. So some people are actually misleading a lot of people into putting more effort and emphasis on what is map. But rather, the law says there just needs to be an identifiable location. And you have done this in several of your broadcasts, mentioning where you think Biafra should start from and where it should end. That's exactly in conformity with what this law says. Then another thing is, number three is government. I'm not asking you a question. I'm just backing up with what you've said. The third is an effective independent government with the capacity to enter into relation with other states. This is the trickiest of the three elaborated. Of course, this you have also done very perfectly and excellently well. For those who are looking for what is, how the Biafra government is going to be and all that, you have actually set an example, you have actually set a pace, and actually form two parts in this Montevideo Convention, but essentially require states to have structured, legally independent administration that control at least some of its claimed territory and population. Some additional point to note are, a state does not have to have actual diplomatic relation. It could be under diplomatic boycott. It just needs to have capacity to have them. I believe, with what is going on now in Nigeria, we are going to come to this point of this Montevideo Convention. It may be invoked as time goes on, because when you anoba joso abaya jebe. So, and I believe that other part of Nigeria will also, without even knowing it, adopt this Montevideo Convention. Now, having said this, the Nigeria we see today, and the way the federal government of the Nigeria are backing terrorists openly, without even hiding it. They are backing the terrorists openly, supporting them, romancing with them, having meeting with them, and not only that, they are supporting them. The Sultan of Sokoto, who they regard as the traditional ruler of Nigeria, he is the chairman of board of trustee of Mayete Allah.
Of course.
Mayete Allah has come publicly to take responsibility of the terrorist attack against southern Nigeria. Now, in addition to this, the person that is parading himself as a president in Nigeria is a board member of this terrorist group that have been ranked number 4 deadliest terrorist group in the world. People are not paying attention to this. And when they are killing people, the Minister of Information, who happened to fall into the territory that was conquered in a Kwara state, now come to say, we are not going to treat terrorists the same way we will treat those who want to get their freedom from Nigeria. That is the most absurd thing I have ever had in my life. I know you have addressed this particular comment coming from the liar Mohammed, from Kwara State. But please, can you, in a different, from a different perspective, can you tell us how would somebody who say he's a Nigerian, especially from the eastern part of Nigeria, and you call yourself a politician, you go to Abuja, you call yourself a governor, you go to Abuja, you call yourself a House of Assembly member, you go to your state and all this, and then you hear somebody saying that those who has made you not to travel by road to Abuja, those who made you not to travel by road to Enugu, those who made you not to travel by road to Owerri, with all your fine vehicle and all your cars, they are not to be proscribed. Rather, the people who say you should have your freedom are being proscribed. In Nigeria, where you actually have state judiciary, that you can actually go and approach the state judiciary and order them to deproscribe IPOB. For the statement coming from that Minister of Information requires opposite reaction. Now, what do you have to tell our people who think this way, that after that statement, nobody has actually come out to say anything? At least I have not read. I have not read anybody.
They will not come because they've been conquered. We are all slaves of the Fulani without knowing it. Not us anyway, maybe not IPOB, but the rest of the zoo. And I must thank you very much for the depth and for the depth of your research in terms of the Montevideo Convention. Montevideo is in Uruguay, for those who do not know. The reason why I never responded to those half-baked intellectuals that keeps talking rubbish about roadmaps because they don't know anything. I'm a student of contemporary politics. I actually read politics at the university in London. So when I hear some fools who are not educated talk about things that are above their station, I feel sorry for them. All of the indices you mentioned are very relevant. But I think the last one you alluded to is the most important. The United States of America, where I am today, went ahead to unilaterally recognize Kosovo as an independent nation. And today, Kosovo stands as an independent nation. It is your willpower, your determination to fight for what you believe in. Had our war gone on for 6 more months, at the time it ended in January of 1970, we would have been a free people today, because the world was waiting to see how determined we are. The reason why sometimes our people tend to not to understand the dynamics of international politics is because they are not well read. They are not well traveled. When we say it, they say we are arrogant. No, we're not being arrogant. It's just that we happen to be educated and we know what we're doing. We know what we're talking about. We know what we're pursuing, and we know how to get it. Having taken into consideration all the mitigating factors against the emergence of Biafra, our approach has therefore to be unorthodox. If you adopt the orthodox approach to state creation, you are bound to fail. They will ask you, oh, but you are in a democracy. Why don't you go through your senators and go through, that's, I call it a checkpoint, where the Janja wheat is waiting for you to come. Once you come there, they swallow you up. That is the zoo called Nigeria for you. There is something that our people will need to understand. How many people are there in Liechtenstein? I think there are about 150,000 people or less. And Liechtenstein is a separate nation state today in Europe. Nobody is complaining. Nobody is saying that they are too small, they cannot participate in what is happening within that very place. Our people need to understand this and understand it very well. That our march towards freedom is multifaceted. The approach we are adopting is multifaceted. We approach it from different angles and dimensions to deliver one result, which is freedom. And in so doing, since the world has come and basically washed their hands off Africa to say, do whatever you can to survive, we are going to do what we can to make sure that we survive. If I understand our situation very, very clearly, is that our people need to remain very, very strong and resolute. Very strong and resolute. A white man have always defeated black people with one thing: mental strength and resilience. When they were trying to go to the moon, the rockets blew up. The scientists at NASA, most people died in the process of trying to place a man in orbit. They didn't stop them. They were not deterred. They continued. Where you have superstition, you replace it with practical faith. And that is what we have done and will continue to do until we arrive. We understand all the internal dynamics of how a zoo functions. In the case of Nigeria, we know it very well. But one thing our enemies did was to underestimate us, which is a very good thing. I love the way they underestimated our resolve, our resilience, our determination, our intellect, our knowledge, our know-how. I love it. That is why we are where we are today. If you're thinking or hoping that one day you would wake up and things will be better in Nigeria, then you're the worst fool alive. Things can never be better. They have structured the system in such a way that if you were having 12 hours of electricity last year, this year you only get about 6. Despite all the so-called investments, despite all the money they have pumped into each and every supposedly viable sector that is not viable. When I talk about the issues concerning Nigeria as a whole, what I'm doing now is to approach your question from a very holistic perspective. When you look at the issue of Nigeria and how hopeless it is, you don't need to look any further than the only thing that they produce naturally without any sweat or effort, which is crude oil and gas. Even that crude oil and gas, they cannot refine into petrol despite the presence of 4 state-of-the-art refineries. Instead, they gave license to a Fulani man to go and build his own special refinery. That means that all of us are slaves already, without knowing it. Until we realize, until the Oduduwa wake up one morning to say that the best way we can defeat these people is by the East and the West being together. The Yoruba and the Igbo, so to speak, Biafra and Oduduwa, must be together in order to defeat this. Because Fulani people, they have one thing that we do not have. They have a godfather who is a member, who is one of the 5 permanent members at the United Nations Security Council, in this case, the United Kingdom. UK will never love you. They may respect you, but they will never love you. The only people they are interested in are the Fulani Janjaweed in the north. So Fulani has an advantage already. Therefore, the only way for us to counter them is through our resilience, our stubbornness, our determination, our never say die attitude, and our ability to work with our closest neighbors, in this case, the Oduduwa, to stand strong and to say enough is enough. If we allow what is happening today to continue to happen, I'm afraid we'll be having these discussions, and what we'll be saying is the number of people who have been killed, where the burials are taking place, because only us will talk about it. No major media in the world will. You don't have $30 billion. That's what the Fulanis have. Over $30 billion to lobby, to make sure that CNN doesn't do anything about your plight, to make sure that the BBC doesn't. And on top of this $30 billion war chest is their own girl who is at the UN lobbying on their behalf. And on top of that, you have Britain. Our work is cut out. But I do believe very strongly, and without any provocation, that we are going to triumph and prevail in the end. Because the God we serve is the Almighty God in heaven and not man. And if his words are to come true, which has done across the ages, then Biafra is coming and nothing is going to stop it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Hamadike. A lot of people are saying that my question is too long, and they don't know that most of the things I'm just, backing up what you have said already with evidence, with the international law.
I like what you did with Montevideo Convention. Anybody now asking you about roadmap, simply give them the link of Montevideo Convention in 1933. Go there and see it. That is the
exactly.
Exactly.
Some of them call themselves lawyers and all that, deceiving people everywhere. Anyway, now the next thing I want to ask you is that when you look at the ESN, the Eastern Security Network, a lot of people are saying that, oh, now you have formed militant. Now after this, now the militant is going to turn this and turn that. Of course, I want you to explain this in a different perspective, from a different perspective. Looking at the difference, what we have in the ESN is completely different from anything you can see from anywhere in Africa.
Yes, ESN is there to make sure that our land is not taken over by the Fulani Janjaweed. That's all.
Exactly.
Process, if you happen, because for Fulani to get land in your village, they must have an agent. They must have an Igwe or PG that will show them the land or sign contracts with them. Or in most cases, you have a political errand boy in Abuja, probably making his master very happy. Some of these people that forgot their boxer shorts in one hotel or the other over there after meeting an Al-Hajj, one of these people may bring them back into your village. But those people are also our enemies. So we are not only pursuing the Fulani Janjaweed, we are also pursuing those who are giving land to them so that they understand that what they are doing is intolerable and cannot be condoned. That's exactly what we are doing. And we cannot go outside that very limit. Never, ever, ever. But if you connive with the police, connive with the army to attack any formation of ESN or any IPOB member undertaking the work of state, then you are inviting our wrath upon your head, because we will not forgive nor forget. It's as simple as that. If we put up a poster to say no grazing, we bring it down, you're asking for trouble. If people are going about putting up posters and you attack them, you're asking for trouble. Because, of course, we understand that some people were fathered by the Fulani Janjaweed during the war. We understand all of that. They gave birth to rubbish. We know that. But what we are saying is that what ESN is doing is to protect our land and to serve the people. It is not there to do anything else. That is why we are not in the townships. We are not going to do police for them. But where our lives are threatened, ESN is there. We are here to protect the lives of our people and to make sure that Biafra is restored. Nothing more, nothing less. We are not going to build that with brutality and senseless thuggery. It's not going to happen. Because we are also, and don't mind you, all of these people, they have sworn to defend Biafra. That is what they are there for. It's not going to change.
Now, Hamadike, looking at what is going on in Nigeria now, we know that the government of Nigeria, the zoo, is accomplished in this whole jihad attack, in this whole terrorist attack. They are accomplished. Now, what assurance will you give the people of Biafra who have become helpless, if not for the emergence of IPOB, if not for the emergence of the ESN just last year? You can imagine what could have been happening now if we are experiencing what the people are experiencing in Yoruba land, where the Fulani, they gave Fulani ultimatum, and then after the ultimatum, the Fulani come to say they own the forest in Yoruba land. Now, what assurance are you giving our people of Biafra that, any attack coming from Fulani will be resisted and won?
They should know that, because we know that the Nigerian state is an accomplice to what is going on, because there is no president. Nigeria has no president. Buhari is dead. Everybody knows that. Even a fool knows that very well. That is why Garba can come out and tell you that anything I say or Premier Adesina says, you should regard it as if the president is the one speaking. In the height of this mayhem, slaughter, insecurity, the person you say is your president is nowhere to be found. The first lady is nowhere to be found. Because I think she took my advice and went with the young man to Dubai where they're having fun. Who knows? I think she's over 50 now. I don't think she can get pregnant again or not. Having fun. If not, in the next 9 months, you hear that Aisha has given birth to a bouncing baby boy, baby girl. But she's having fun in Dubai with her boyfriend, wearing Buhari masks, deceiving people, those that claim they went to school. Where is your first lady? I'm saying this in line with I want people to understand that not only is the government of the zoo, the Janjaweed government, complicit in what is going in the terrorism. They brought in terrorism into Nigeria. Fulani, deliberately. Not by a few individuals, not like Michael Senior. This is the government themselves, answer wrong, brought in terrorism into Nigeria. Where is Aisha? First lady, where is she? I feel sorry for black people. Let me tell you one thing. What is happening in Yoruba land cannot. They know who we are now. Britain must have told them that this is what are not cases, though. Don't try them anyhow. And as I've said, they want to do two things: subdue the Yoruba with the force of terrorists, and then come against us with the might of their army. That is the reason why BBC is rooting for them. That is why a whole BBC left their job to be advertising where you can get application form to join the Nigerian army. What other? I tweeted it a few hours ago. What other proof do you need that Britain is the one that the ones running the show? BBC advertising where you can get form to join army because they know they do not have the population to fight us. Let me tell you one thing people don't know. They do not have the population to fight us. They know that very well. If we do the war rises up at the same time as well as Biafra, they cannot defeat us. They know that. Now they're asking for people to join the army. That army is going to be populated by Janjaweed terrorists. They will try us. They will come. They came to all 4 times and we beat them. They went to the air, disturbing in Africa, disturbing birds of the air. They are cowards. We say, come down on the ground. You know where we are in the forest. Come and look for us. So we can give you a quick exit from this earth. So you can die very quickly. How did this then? The townships killing people. What is happening in Yoruba land cannot happen in the East. It cannot happen. Britain killed us with one thing: air, land, and sea blockade. Now we manufacture what we use. So how can you defeat us? Are you waiting for telling the world, don't sell arms to them like before? You think we are stupid? No, of course not. What we use, we manufacture. If you want to know how effective it is, ask the zoo army, they will tell you. So they understand. Very soon, we will switch into a suicide mode. We have not come to that yet, but they keep pushing us. Very soon. I told them before, for one suicide bomber you have in Boko Haram, I will give you 10 in Biafra land when the time comes if you provoke us. We are getting there very soon. And what I'm saying, I say it openly. Openly, so that the world can hear. Because we have written to them. We have complained to them. We have petitioned them. Everybody, are you telling me the world doesn't know that Fulani brought in terrorism? Are you telling me that the CIA doesn't know? Are you telling me that Mossad doesn't know? Are you telling me that MI5 doesn't know? That it was the Fulani brought in terrorism? Is that what you're telling me? Are you telling me that they do not know what is going on? They know, but their consideration is oil. Because let me give you an example. When you want to rise up from the USA to complain about Nigeria and what is happening there, Halliburton, I'm here in Texas. They are here. That's the headquarters. They'll pick up the phone and they will call you. I say, leave those monkeys, leave. Remember, President Trump said it, that his friends are making ridiculous money out of Africa. What he meant is that they're making that money because Africans are stupid. He said it when he got it, that his friends are making so much out of our stupidity. The world knows that Fulani wants to take over Nigeria. They know that very well. They know about all the massacres happening. Al Jazeera interviewed the late Buhari, that was in 2016, and asked him, and said to him, look at National High School, Baba, People were being shot. In fact, they removed that woman from Al Jazeera after the interview. She was removed from Al Jazeera. Look at people being shot dead by army and police at National High School. Nothing happened. And because nothing happened, that in fact, it doesn't with the share. Before our eyes, the world saw the clip of army people kneeling down and firing at civilians. Had the same thing happened in China, you will hear them, all America will be writing the Tiananmen massacre. What happened with the Shia was worse than what happened in Tiananmen massacre in Beijing. Not one single news outlet in the world carried it because Britain asked them not to. That gave them the impetus to go to Aba National High School to kill, to go to war, they kill. And you know how life is. Once they are killing other people and you're quiet, and Yoruba media was just supporting them. Our army, our boys, today they're in their forest. Nothing they say, what goes around comes around. If you support evil today, evil will consume you tomorrow. You tell my Yoruba friends, this evil you are supporting, this your one Nigeria will consume you. They said, no, one Nigeria. You are there today. In answer to your question, if they come to our land, they will die there. We will kill them. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. You know, Onyendo, when you are saying British, you know, this British, a lot of people don't understand why you are always hammering on British. On this note, let me make it very public. Of course, this is not also a question for those who think that the question is going to be long. This is not a question, but you can make comment after this. Let me make it a public that in 2015, December 3rd, 2015, a motion was filed at the British Parliament for the independence of Biafra.
Of course.
A lot of people don't know about this.
They don't know about it. They want to see roadmap.
Now, the text of this motion reads that this House recognizes the call for the independence of the territory that constituted the Biafran Republic, acknowledges that Biafra issue could be improved with the cooperation of the Nigerian government by offering a referendum, and urges the Foreign and Commonwealth Office to use its diplomatic strength to assist in the resolution of this matter.
I'm aware of it. I'm aware of it. No. I didn't know you were going to ask me about it. I wanted to bring it up much later in this our struggle for Biafra. But since you've mentioned it, I will comment on it. Remember what I told you before, that in England you have good people. In Britain there are good people. It was Britain that was at the forefront of slavery. And yet it was Britain, through their courts, that banned, or should I say, that abolished slavery. The same British people. So it is my hope and prayer that one day good people will rise up again in British politics to recognize that freedom for Biafra is also freedom for Britain. I give them a very simple example. What is the volume of your trade with the USA or with Japan, for instance? If you give, right now, Britain is struggling because they are pleading with Joe Biden to give them favorable status in terms of, trade negotiations and the rest of it. If you ask an average British person, they prefer trade with a developed America than with a primitive Nigeria, regardless of the fact that they're getting oil and gas for free. It's something I said to Britain. Having a free Biafra that is economically viable is your gateway in that thing you've always wanted in Africa. It's only Biafra that can give it to you. Because the economic strength and might of Biafra will allow all your companies that invested in Biafra land to be able to expand exponentially. I will give you a very simple, one very tiny example. Do you think that people eat enough balanced diet? The answer is no, because there is no milk. The milk these are condensed milk. These are processed milk, not fresh milk. That is one thing that stupid Mietiala cannot get into their useless skull. They can have viable animal husbandry industry that provides fresh milk for people. Look at all the products that require milk in it. Why do you think that Nigeria cannot produce chocolate? Because they don't have any milk. But the cocoa to produce chocolate is in Yoruba land. And part of it also in Bende, where I come from. I just want to give you a very simple example. Very simple. Look at the world market for chocolate. Especially during Easter, during Valentine, during whatever, Christmas. We can make chocolate where we come from with the milk that we produce, employing people meaningfully, exporting all that product. So Britain should, they have this problem. Their problem is that they need somebody to subjugate. They need somebody, when Lugard came, they called him Lord Lugard. And they brought Bible with them. In the same Bible you also have Lord. Yahweh. And in most cases, God Almighty in heaven. And you're looking at this Beture, and they call him Lord. So that means he's close to God now, or he's related to Jesus. You respect him. Do you see how daft and foolish we are? They don't know that when you call somebody a Lord, there is temporal and there is spiritual. God is spiritual Lord. Those in the house of laws, they are temporal. But you have to go to school to understand all these things. And it's not our fault that we're educated. That is where we are. It's not our fault. It's education, sound education. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And that reminds me, when some people call Lord Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, a lot of people get upset.
But they go to England. If you ask them who created that, they say Lord Lugard, very proudly. They won't say yes. They say Lord Lugard. Because that Lord is a white man. Nnamdi Kanu is a black man. How can I call a fellow animal from Africa Lord when there are white people there?
Sorry about this. Yes.
Black people.
Yes. Now, when you look at, from what you have just said now, you explained something very, very important. And that reminds me, when you look at what is going on globally, you find out that people of the southern Nigeria, and then we bring it down to Biafra people, like Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala today, you see that she is being celebrated, and a lot of people are doing things all over the world. Now, I want you to tell us, how would Biafra, if Biafra become a nation today, how would these people, the experiences, from what you have gathered, from the information you have all over the world, when you have traveled to where Biafrans are doing great, how do you think that Biafra will do things differently from Nigeria? Not just from Nigeria, but from other countries of the world. Are we going to, are you assuring people that Biafra will harness all the experiences of Biafrans scattered all over the world? And that, how do you intend doing that?
They may actually contaminate what we have, because in Biafra land, as I told you before, what we are using to defend our land, we manufacture ourselves in Biafra land. And some of them didn't go to school. In Biafra land, economists are born. Engineers are born. From your mother's womb, you're an engineer, because we are a blessed race. From your mother's womb, you can perform miracles and wonders. Have you not seen people building power plants, little children building toys, remotely controlled? Have you not seen them doing marvelously well and doing wonderful things? Are we not the ones that manufactured the first indigenous car in Africa? We don't even need to go abroad. Those abroad will be begging to come back home to participate, because we have it in abundance. It's about harnessing the potentials of these people and bringing to the fore. We are not going to suffer what other black people suffer from in Africa. If you are better than me at doing something, I will concede to you. I will step down and you will take over, because you will do it better than I can. That is the mentality we're going to go into Biafra with. Everybody will be accommodated. But those who are excellent, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to say, oh, because Nnameka, my child is not as brilliant as your own. Because of that, your child will not climb. It has to be my own. God forbid. Excellence. We are going to celebrate excellence. We are going to reward those that serve their nation. Not noisemakers, not empty barrels, not criminals and vandals, no, heaven forbid. And above all, there will be no police carrying guns on the street, so you can think properly. People don't understand this. In Biafra land, you can live your life unless we are at war. You cannot see a soldier on the streets, so you can think properly. Because we've been traumatized by this. They have dealt with us. So we are going to build a novel country. Britain knows this. Listen, Britain, they know this. They don't want Biafra to come because they know that Biafra will put every other person to shame. That's why they don't want it. If not, give us Biafra now. Give it to us. Okay, say it to us. Give us Biafra for 5 years. If it's not viable, you go back to Nigeria. They know what we can do. That's what I want to say. We have abundance of time. Did you train as a journalist?
No.
Then that answers the question. We don't need anybody. We welcome those from outside, though. No problem. Some of them said if Biafra were to come today, some of them will leave their things here and follow me, and they will go back home. They will come. We are going to accommodate them. But because you speak English in a particular way, it doesn't mean you're intelligent. Doesn't mean you're. We have seen all this nonsense now. Those that spoil Nigeria, they are those speaking wrong grammar, isn't it? Those speaking too much grammar. They're the ones that ruin life for everybody else. So if they can come, we can accommodate them. But in Biafra land, everything is complete. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I know that you are very, very tired, because they are, first of all, the attack on this this whole thing before we start almost threw me off balance. Almost threw me off balance. I never expected it, honestly. But thank God we managed to have come this far. One thing I'm going to ask you, I think it's going to be the last question before I will allow you to rest, because you have been on this journey for a very long time and every day on the phone and all that. So I'm going to ask you one last question. The question is this: if from what I've just read now about the motion for Biafra independence at the UK Parliament.
Yes.
The wording is that the Office of the Commonwealth must make sure they use their diplomatic power and ties to compel, though they did not use the word compel, but to compel Nigerian government to organize referendum for a possible freedom of Biafra. And this is exactly what we are all asking. Now, if this did not happen, are you ready to lead us to do anything to get the freedom of Biafra?
Yes.
Which I am going to be number one to follow you.
Yes. You think we're going to live like this, like a bunch of animals forever? Of course not. Of course not. It can't, they know it very well that we are coming. And I will come and I'll bring hell with me. You understand it very well. You better give me Biafra now. If they do not give me Biafra now, I am making it very clear to the whole world so they understand what I'm saying very clearly. So that by the time that we are gone, history they will remember the deeds of God upon our lives. We have not come for anything else. I don't exist for anything else. It's only for Biafra to come. If you're not going to give me that Biafra, I will destroy everything I see on my path. I'm being honest with you. There is no other outcome. Forget about all those speaking grammar and that's rubbish. Give us a referendum, as those British MPs tried to do, in keeping with the fact that in England you have people that have soul and conscience. If you have a referendum today and people say foolishly vote to remain in one Nigeria, I will give up. But that's where we're going to. and nothing. You know, you know where we are now. Do you think that we are going to drop our guns now? Is that what you think? Are we going to drop it now? No.
No way.
You must negotiate. And that is going to be a referendum. They understand it. Or else we give them hell. And they know it. If Boko Haram, a bunch of idiots that didn't go to school, can give you a tough time, imagine people who are educated and all over the world. But as you know, with Pharaoh, their ears will be blocked. They'll be doing their janja with some. They will think, oh, we have a Hanese, we have George Obiozo, we have the likes of Hope, we shall prevail. But you'll hear their stories soon as well. We're not going back. We have come to die for what we believe. Thank you very much for having me, Simon. And continue your good work. And don't allow Satan to get into you. Don't.
Never. Never. Thank you very much, Ohamadike. DK Anakbogunanya. Greetings from people from Canada. Greetings from people from Australia. Greetings from people from almost all European countries. As I am talking with you, you will notice that my face has been on the, these people are sending messages. Yes. Everybody from different parts of the world telling me to greet you. Particularly people from Canada are asking, when are you coming to Canada?
Let them find a cure for COVID and I'll be there. COVID is everywhere.
Okay, they're listening to you. They're listening to you. Thank you very much, our leader. And for those of us who are, in the media, we are promising that we are not going to fail the Biafra people. We will work tirelessly until Biafra comes. We will follow you. Any decision you make on Biafra, we are going to follow, because we are not the one who advised you until we joined. So any decision you feel that you make for Biafra, we are going to follow, because we know it is going to yield fruit and it's going to lead us somewhere. We have come a long way, no going back.
That's all.
Nobody is going to die. Nobody is going to die. We will all see Biafra.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And enjoy yourself. Have a very nice week. And see you again.
There is snow in Houston. I think it's for the first time in 5 or 6 years. They said I brought someone coming to Houston. Our people are living large here. No wonder some of them don't want to come back home. They are living a very good life here. Some of them are very, very fabulously well off. But of course, we know that Biafra will come and will be a better country, even more than the USA. Thank you very much, Simon.
Exactly. We have minus 25 degrees here.
Are you serious? So, minus 25?
I'm telling you.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
yes, minus 25. I think the temperature here is minus. It was minus 10 earlier today. Now it's just 0. Only 0. Common 0. Now it is.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And this is the beginning. This is the beginning of Anyukomamiano Obaofu.
Of course. Of course. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That some of the